I think I'm entitled.
You want answers.
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
This is Larry Connors USA. Larry Connors USA.
I woke up this morning, got myself a gun. Mama always said I'd be the chosen one.
The president has said that in terms of territories and stuff, these are things that Zelensky's going to have to decide on. These are things that the Ukrainian side is going to have to agree to. That's all the president is trying to do here is narrow down the open issues, narrow them down, and then see if we can play some role in bringing that closer together so we can stop and end this war once and for all. Look, this war is only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. You've seen that in the escalation and the attacks. Russia's economy is now 100% full-time war footing. They are producing munitions. The Ukrainians are as well. Both sides are hitting each other very, very hard. And the war is only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. So he's trying to do everything he can to bring it to an end. But people that are out there talking what they don't know with all these stupid leaks and things of that nature, they all want to just sound important. They don't know what they're talking about. The president's been very clear. In terms of like what Zelensky's going to agree to, that's up to them to decide. They're going to have to decide what they're willing to give and ultimately what they're going to get, what they're going to demand as well. Both sides are going to, but here's what I can tell you for certain. You can't have a peace deal between two warring factions unless both sides agree to give up something and both sides agree that the other side gets something.
That is common procedure. That is Secretary of State Rubio attacking those on the left who say, well, Trump is playing up to Putin, and he's going to try to embarrass Zelensky. That's why the European leaders are coming to meet at the White House earlier today with Zelensky. No, they were invited. They were invited to come with Zelensky for today's meeting at the White House. Everything Trump tries to do correctly, they want to undermine it. Do they not realize what they're doing? They're the ones playing with lives. They're the ones that keep relighting the fires once we try to put them out. And Secretary Rubio's had it with, and so have I. I'm going to give you some details here in a moment that will just put me over the top. You might handle it better, but I have to admit, I'm absolutely incensed that some of the attitude of the leftist media, what can we do to undermine everything Trump is doing? Do you not realize what is at stake? You're the same ones out there crying for all the children, help the families, all the people suffering. You're creating more of it. Not only in Ukraine, but in Gaza and elsewhere around the world. Our focus currently is Ukraine. Thanks for joining us. Hour number one, Larry Connors USA, August 18, 2025. And you're damn right, I am fired up. We start every program that way. And I remember you with Larry Connors USA, remind you that you're going to get news, opinion, analysis, and education. You will leave each hour with more information than you had when we began. I promise you that. And reminding you when we're on the air, like right now, you can watch us. You can watch by going to NewsTalkSTL Rumble, Facebook or Twitter, Larry Connors USA, Rumble, Facebook. If you miss anything now or later and you want to go back and pull it up, watch, view, listen, share with others, you go to NewsTalkSTL podcast, LarryConnorsUSA.com, and Larry Connors USA Facebook. I appreciate it. And you, therefore, get a chance to be involved in spreading the word. In our next hour, we are going to focus on intel leaks involving Senator Adam Schiff. Of course, he was a congressman at the time that he was trying to persecute Donald Trump and pushing those false impeachment hearings. But now, of course, he is a senator since Dianne Feinstein is put out to pasture. But he is not free of what he did when it came to leaking intel. We will get into that in our second hour. And later this hour, political analyst John Gordon's view of the talks between Putin, Trump, Zelensky, and the same from Mark Levin, the great one. You'll hear from Mark Levin on his points about this. Keep in mind, Zelensky's meeting at the White House today comes as He is flanked by European allies that he wanted to go with it, and they were invited. I cannot stress that again. The leftists would have you believe they went to protect Zelensky so Trump won't be so dismissive of him as the last time. Did you remember the last time? Well, that happened, of course, when they had that prior meeting, and it got cut short by a shouting match between Trump and Vice President Vance because Zelensky was getting on a line telling the U.S. what they should do. The Ukrainian leader has acknowledged that last visit, not so good. Me bad. He didn't say it in those words, but that's what it came down to. He told reporters in Brussels, I hope today's meeting will be productive. Then a repeat of what we had earlier this year. And the talks today, it's going to take a time, again, to analyze and parse them out. There are a lot of details to go through. You cannot make, despite what some of the legacy media want to do, instantaneous judgments that it's good, it's positive. This is a process. They don't get it. They actually think they're the kinds of ones that you go to the supermarket to buy milk. Milk comes in the carton. Everybody gets it in a carton. That's where it came from the carton. They don't realize cows provide the milk because that's part of the process. You go to the store, you want the milk, there it is. And then you're ignoring the process involving our great dairy farmers across the nation. But here's an example of the leftists and how they went on the attack. This I'm telling you again, I'm biting my tongue not to say something that could possibly get us off the air forever. Rubio went on ABC, and listen to the way the question is phrased. Now, the question would be legitimate, except the phrasing sets up a scenario that we are basically kowtowing to Putin. Listen to this.
Critics of President Trump will say the pomp and circumstance, the red carpet, the warm handshake, that President Trump simply lost that Putin gained there just by being on the world stage and walking down a red carpet with the president. Your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, critics of President Trump are always going to find something to criticize. You don't even pay attention to it anymore. But I will tell you this, Putin is already on the world stage. He's already on the world stage. The guy's conducting a full-scale war in Ukraine. He's already on the world stage. He has the world's largest tactical nuclear arsenal in the world and the second largest strategic nuclear arsenal in the world. He's already on the world stage. When I hear people say that, oh, it elevates him, well, all we do is talk about Putin all the time. All the media's done is talk about Putin all the time for the last 4 or 5 years. That doesn't mean he's right about the war. That doesn't mean he's justified about the war. Put all that aside. It means you're not going to have a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine. You're not going to end a war between Russia and Ukraine without dealing with Putin.
But you rolled out a red carpet for him, and there was that warm handshake. Would you have Trump walk up to him and spit on him? Would that make you happy? That's the view from